You're watching Today's Money TV show. Join top innovators, investors, and business leaders as they share insights for success in today's fast-paced economy.
Welcome to Today's Money, where we bring you insight from trailblazing innovators and industry leaders shaping the future. In this episode, we'll explore groundbreaking strategies and transformative technologies driving success in the modern business landscape. Stay tuned as we uncover expert perspectives that inspire your next big move. Welcome back to Today's Money, where we bring you insight from industry leaders. Our guest today is Frank Ferraro, a seasoned professional with a wealth of experience as a market maker, investment banker, transfer agent, and public company CEO. Frank has played a pivotal role in helping hundreds of companies navigate the complex process of getting listed and uplisted on various exchanges. Stay tuned for expert advice and invaluable perspective. Hey Frank, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for taking time to be on our show. Frank, tell our audience a little bit about what you do and your background.
Well, my name is Frank Ferraro, and I bring a wealth of experience to the corporate finance world and capital markets. My career began about 40 years ago. I started as a specialist clerk on the American Stock Exchange and later moved up the line and became a market maker. As a market maker, I also became a listing agent, guiding companies through the intricate process of going public. And that included preparing business models, preparing companies for the rigorous standards of going through the marketplace, from financial reporting to compliance. And that experience gave me the firsthand knowledge of working with companies on a different level.
Okay.
And today, I pretty much just take that experience and channel it into the different things that I do, whether it be my podcast and websites or other different businesses that we incorporate into this.
Okay. Frank, how many companies have you taken public?
Over the years, we've probably listed about over 800 companies, and
That's all, just 800, huh?
it's an amazing thing, and it was a lot of fun. But and we also the funny thing is we actually listed the Nasdaq stock market. We took the Nasdaq stock market public on the OTC bulletin board, and it actually traded under the symbol NDAQ. And the funny thing is that I had the company Corporate Roadshow for many years back then. That's when I started it. And the Wall Street Journal put out an article, no roadshow for Nasdaq IPO. I was like, what? How could they do that to me? But,
Look at him now, right? Look at him now.
pretty funny.
So Frank, let's get into it. Our audience is a lot of entrepreneurs and people are interested in business. You know, one of the biggest questions is when somebody's starting a business and their goal is have an exit strategy of either going public or selling the company. What is the foundation? What should they do to make sure that they can have success for that exit strategy?
And that's a good question. That's a big question. Okay. Setting up for a buyout, it really begins with having a very strong foundation. First, you have to ensure that your financials are in order, they're accurate, they're transparent, they're easily auditable. Okay. Investors want clarity. And second, secure intellectual property such as trademarks, patents, if applicable, because that adds significant value to your company. And third, develop a scalable business model. Okay. Businesses, buyers are attracted to companies that demonstrate growth with potential without requiring a lot of capital or effort. And lastly, ensure that you have a solid corporate governance structure, including clear contracts and policies for employees and partners, because these different agreements will reduce friction going forward.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest problems that people have is when money starts getting involved. If you don't have everything set up at the beginning, it becomes a big.
Oh, it gets nasty. It gets
It's,
real.
it's a
It
big
gets
problem.
real fast. Trust me. That's your job. That's big part of a job as an investment banker.
Yeah,
Doing that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's not an easy thing, because you got people there for years, and I want this and I deserve that. And,
Greed is good and
Woo!
bad. Greed is good and bad. So I got you. I got you. Now, you made a great point of somebody having a company that's scalable or not scalable or an asset. Um, I do a lot of consulting also, and I see a lot of people that are in a dilemma that have had success, or they believe that they have an asset like a patent or something along those lines that's high value. How does someone know or understand that, hey, we've got to a certain level and we should either sell or we should go public?
Well, that's pretty interesting, because it really depends. If you going public is a big leap, okay, and it requires a significant preparation. Okay, so when your financials are robust and you show consistent growth and profitability, clear potential, you'll need a solid track record. Okay, and the thing is like I mentioned before, if you're in a business that's scaling, yeah, that's a great way to go public to raise money. Okay, but if
Like
you're
crowdfunding?
like what?
Like crowdfunding?
Well, that business model is scaling. That's a great business model. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
yeah. But if you're in, let's say, the typewriter business, that's not really scaling anymore.
Right.
You follow me?
Right.
It's a business. You have assets. You might want to just sell it.
Yeah, maybe the
So
client list at the highest value that you might have there instead of the actual typewriters. Hey, they
yeah,
could be classics and be worth something, antiques.
you never know. But I'm just saying, So I mean, there's certain dynamics, and it does take a lot of work to go public. It's not just an easy thing, because there's a lot of different financials. There's a lot of different parameters. You also have to talk about government conditions. Where is your, what is your business? What does it do? Where is it located? Where is it doing business? What countries are it in? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, plus on top of that, I've had clients that are like, you know what, I just don't want to deal with that. I'd rather just, sell it, get my paycheck, and we're out.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're in an industry, um, and you see untapped potential and have the drive to scale, going public is the right deal. You know what I mean? If you're depending on the industry, it really does. It depends on the industry.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, Frank, tell us how can someone watch your podcast and be able to connect with you and find out more about your show.
Hey, well, you can Google Off Road with Frank Ferraro, and you can listen in our podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Alexa. You can also log on to corporateroadshow.com and see some of the interesting companies that we profile. And again, my name is Frank Ferraro, and I'd love to have you come on. And I want to thank you for having me on.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, Frank.
All right. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks, bud.
All right, bye-bye. In this segment, we're thrilled to welcome Matthew Lamons, a visionary in the field of generative AI. As the CEO and founder of Intelligence Factory, Matthew is shaping the future of AI with cutting-edge strategies and innovations. Get ready to dive into the exciting world of artificial intelligence and learn how it's transforming industry worldwide. In this segment, we're thrilled to welcome Matthew Lamons, a visionary in the field of generative AI. As the CEO and founder of Intelligence Factory, Matthew is shaping the future of AI with cutting-edge strategies and innovations. Get ready to dive into the exciting world of artificial intelligence and learn how it's transforming industry worldwide. Hey, Matthew, how you doing?
Doing great, Hugh. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for taking the time to be on our show.
Certainly.
Matthew, I've been very excited to talk to you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do and background.
Sure. So I'm Matthew Lamons. I founded the Intelligence Factory. Over my career, I've had interest from behavioral psychology to starting multiple businesses, primarily in technology. And the goal I've always had is how do we get the best technology into every person's hands so they can do the things that they want to do easier, faster, smarter.
Okay, that's fair. That sounds great. So you definitely are an AI expert. So the big question in the world is today, is AI the answer? Is it the problem? Is it the answer to all our problems? What do you think?
Yes, is the answer, right?
Okay.
So,
All the above.
if you want the one word answer, the answer is yes. Yes. Is AI going to be a problem? Yes, we're seeing it now. And even if that problem is worry, right? That we worry that artificial intelligence will be used by people who don't want the best for everyone, and they're going to use it in ways that are mean, right? And or is the AI a great tool that will build solutions that we can't have imagined, even 4 or 5 years ago? Yes, the answer is yes, right? So it all depends on what we want to do. AI is going to enable us to do those things faster with more alacrity and aplomb, right? If we want to get philosophical with it. So it's we are seeing that across multiple industries, whether it's technology, healthcare, supply chain. What we're looking for out of artificial intelligence is how do we get to where we would have been if we would have had an extra 10 years of experience? Artificial intelligence can shorten that so that our iteration to where we should be in optimization of processes gets really, really fast.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things, especially like in research where you can create thousands or hundreds of thousands of scenarios, putting in the right data to be able to come out with a solution or an answer where it would have taken you weeks, months, or years.
Yeah, and we don't live long enough, right? And what we're finding out is, well, what we can do is we can have these machines running artificial intelligence models, and they can have generations and lifetimes and epochs of experience that we cram into a couple of weeks worth of training, even that, or a day's worth of training. And so
Right.
imagine if you could live 10,000 years, how smart would you be, right?
Right.
Well, we can do that with the machine and artificial intelligence, and they just learn in very small incremental steps, but they do it so fast, and we just cram so much data at it that they're not geniuses, but we give them a genius level of experience. And
Okay.
when we start asking questions, we start getting genius level answers as a result.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, of course, everybody is worried about jobs. Is it going to take my job? Is it going to take everybody's job? Are we going to have job losses? Are we going to have job gains? What do you think is going to happen now?
Yeah, we should expect job shifts. New jobs will come along that haven't been, that we couldn't have thought were needed before. And some jobs will certainly go away. If you're in marketing and your job used to be creating social media posts, that is a job that is clearly going to go away because you can have ChatGPT create posts for you as quickly, understanding the sentiment of your Twitter base or your X base, your Instagram community base, and create posts that are perfectly aligned to those communities. That kind of position that was very popular over the last 5 or 10 years is going to go away. But those people now can do other things, right? They could actually be managing the prompt engineering for those large language models to do those services for other companies. So they may service now 5 or 6 companies, 10 companies, whereas they were only servicing one. So there'll be less, but they'll be more effective. And those other people will be doing other things.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that's one of the things too that we see is education is going to be key. Being able to either re-educate yourself, further education in what you're doing, or like you said, it's a perfect example where maybe you're doing more volume in what you're doing, but less effort, right? I mean, what's the whole purpose of AI? It's supposed to make our life easier, right?
Yeah. And we'll be driving the decisions more. So we're what artificial intelligence particularly does now at this stage of the technology is it empowers people to be the decision makers. So they can have now a fleet of people that work underneath them doing all kinds of work, and they can evaluate, well, this agent worked much better for me than this other agent. So I like this agent's answer. I'm going to push that forward into whatever process I am engaged in. So almost everyone now becomes a mini manager of a process versus the direct actor or engaged in that process's activities.
And that's kind of how your AI works, right?
In a way, yeah, in a way. Derive is a data-driven decision platform. So it's computationally precise. So unlike other platforms where you can get some answers, you can't really drive complex computations in a way that's consistent or reliable. Derive allows average people without having an understanding of code to ask very complex questions of data sets and not only retrieve information from that data, what was the value of this, what was our sales last quarter, but make scenarios and simulations on that on those data sets to ask what if questions. What if we had changed our pricing? What will happen next year if we change our pricing and based on all the other things holding stable? So our technology is a very democratic way of putting artificial intelligence into people's hands with the language that they know how to use and the technical skills that they have. Not everybody's going to be a programmer. We have more and more engagement with programs, but we don't need to, everybody doesn't need to be a programmer for that. And Derive is in that type of a product space.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things is the user friendly of how are to operate these different systems, and even whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot, if you don't ask the right questions, it's not going to give you the answers that you want. It may be something vague or
Yeah.
whatever. And really, it is still of a complex of how to ask the questions. That's why you got all these other AI platforms that are based on these platforms, because they really make it easier to be able to accomplish the goal that you're trying to do, which, like, for yourself, I mean, the data that gives and the information gets invaluable, and it's a lot of time saved. So Matthew, how would someone get in contact with your company to find out more about your product and your progress and how things are moving?
Sure. Thank you very much. The best way is to go to our website, TIF.ai. That's TIF.ai. And you'll learn about Derive, which is our market entry product, which is data-driven decision platform. Vision, which is our 3D operations, digital twin for whole operations. That's in a 3D environment. It's very cool and visually exciting. And all of our contact information is there. So we'll be releasing our beta product of Derive after the first of the year, and you'll be able to use it. It's low cost, doesn't take a lot of integration for the individual level. We have business and enterprise tiers for that. So we're excited about it. And I think this is a great time for that type of technology because it's a Star Trek world, right? You're going to be able to talk to your computer. It's going to be able to do things. And I think we're going to be smarter because of it.
Wonderful. Well, I'm excited to see it. It sounds like it's going to be a very bright future. It's not going to be a crisis. I think it's going to be great. Matthew, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and hopefully look forward to having you on again.
Thanks, you. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Thank you for joining us on Today's Money. We hope you've gained valuable insight and inspiration from today's discussion. Remember, success is built on knowledge, strategy, and the courage to take action. Be sure to follow us on social media for more expert advice, behind-the-scenes content, and future updates on episodes. Until next time, keep striving, innovating, and making every moment count. I'm Hugh Knight, your host.